have a dog and his name's Skylar. No one's exactly sure what type he is, but my siblings and I think that he's some sort of golden retriever, yellow lab, beagle mix. We've had a couple different dogs throughout my life, and I'm so grateful for the joy that they've brought my entire family. Dogs and humans have been inseparable companions for countless years. As a dog lover and owner, I've had firsthand experience with just how these animals become part of the family. They have their own personalities, habits, and quirks, just like people do. Because of my love for my own dogs, I've done considerable research into just how these animals became man's best friend. Dogs are thought to have been domesticated thousands of years ago. They've historically filled a variety of roles throughout our society, and today they're actively in roles that positively contribute to human lives. To begin, the domestication of dogs is thought to have occurred several thousand years ago. According to Jared A. Lobel and Eric Powell of the American Archaeological Institute, in their article, More Than Man's Best Friend, that timeline is put somewhere between 30,000 and 10,000 years ago. As to where they originated, that's up to some debate. Some people believe it was China, others the Middle East, and still others cite Africa as the source. Powell and Lobel cite archaeologist Susan Crockford in their opinion that dogs may have occurred in more than one location and at more than one point in time, not just in one isolated incident. Stanley Coren, renowned psychologist, dog expert, and author of the article How Dogs Were Created, outlines the most likely opinion of how exactly this occurred. He asserts that when ancient people turned from a more nomadic lifestyle to a more sedentary one, the wolves came to them. The establishment of villages also meant the establishment of trash heaps, which the wolves viewed as an easy food source. The more social wolves were more likely to come to the food source with the humans nearby, and they settled in the area. This led to two separate breeding grounds, one with the social wolves and one with the more aggressive, antisocial, fearful of human wolves. Because social wolves would breed with the other social wolves due to proximity, this would lead to social pups. Those pups were taken in by humans and trained. They were bred for the loudest bark so that they could act as sentries, warning of wild animals or approaching strangers to the village. It wasn't until many, many years later that, as Coren puts it, dogs were genetically modified to hunt, point, retrieve, pull sleds, track, and even offer empathetic companionship. The dogs, in addition to their original utilitarian use, dogs have come to touch many aspects of human life. Throughout history, they've played a variety of roles, some more pleasant than others. Lobel and Powell describe how dogs may have been companions almost from the time they came into existence. There are multiple grave sites across the world of dogs who have been buried with their owners. Those dogs are often buried with treats or blankets to comfort them in the afterlife, just as they are meant to comfort their owners. The Yasmina dog of Tunisia is a wonderful example of this. Despite its skeleton showing that it suffered many injuries and health problems, it lived long into its teen years, most likely due to the attentive care of its master. Some cultures even saw dogs as serving a spiritual purpose. The Aztecs and many ancient Americans thought that they were meant to lead people, guides to the afterlife. Other cultures had a less peaceful route. Dogs are often sacrificed to lead to victory in battle or to please the gods. Even stranger than this is the fact that some cultures, even as they saw dogs as companions, also saw them as a food source. Lobel and Powell assert that the domestication of dogs made them an easier food source than wild game. They were there, they were available, and they were sometimes even considered a delicacy, as by the ancient Aztecs. Though this may seem abhorrent to some, it was normal practice many, many years ago. Luckily, we've come a long way since the days when dogs were on the typical dinner menu. Today, they have been solidified as cherished and helpful companions. Dogs have a variety of roles in our society. According to Juliana Weiss-Rosler, contributor and writer for dog expert Cesar Millan's website, in her article Dogs with Jobs, there are a variety of roles that dogs play in our life. Police dogs are able to sniff out bombs, guns, and even people. Dogs in the military serve a similar job. and they also serve to boost the morale of the soldiers. Search and rescue dogs are able to find lost or injured people in the case of natural disasters or other catastrophes. All these dogs receive an enormous amount of training to do what they do, and we're so lucky to have them in these important jobs. Some dogs are even still used for what their ancestors were originally bred for, guarding homes and herding livestock. Possibly even more important than these jobs are the ones that we could not do without dogs, and we rely on them for. The European Pet Food Industry's article, Pets in Society, outlines the incredibly important work dogs do in assisting people with disabilities and emotional distress. There are dogs that help the blind to see, the deaf to hear, and the elderly to feel a sense of joy and connection. Pets are used for therapy and treatment of psychological ailments, from dementia to depression. They are even beneficial in the classroom, helping kids with learning difficulties or troubled pasts cope and even excel. In conclusion, wolves evolved into the ancestors of dogs thousands of years ago. Throughout history, they've played a variety of roles, from spiritual guides to companions to a source of food. Today, dogs are hard at work, providing service in many different fields and improving the quality of life for people everywhere. Dogs have gone from the wild ancestors of wolves to useful tools and companions to the cherished and helpful pets that we have today. Whether they're searching through earthquake rubble or resting by the fireside, they bring joy to the lives of everyone they touch, including me.